Maybe like exclusive concerts.
Okay, if not,
I wouldn't see why not. I was probably gonna
we
do it before I see it. You said like for a year right now. No.
It's just a video. It's not-
if not,
Well, does it have feelings? Leaking right now.
Yeah, I think you said you had a video. Are you gonna try to like do like some YouTube drums or not?
I want to.
That'd be sick.
I want to use it in some way. Not the drum kit, but the clone. I plan to get it fixed soon. So, right after this,
Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining us here. This is the second series, second concert in the PerfTech Presents series, titled Hot Wired Piano, because we have a special piano here. You'll find out more about through the course of the concert, and we've composed some pieces for it. We'll be demonstrating. We're also using this and some other events this week to make a kind of launch party for our minor in performance technology. So we're very excited about that. Being able to give a structured path through our music technology and theater technology courses, so we can focus on the impact of technology on live performance. We're pretty good at focusing on out of real time or distance things. We're focusing on the live and the in person, and seeing what we can learn about those things using technological performance as a platform. So I'll probably tell you a little bit more about that later in the program. Let me use this opportunity right now to remind you to silence or darken your electronic devices. Our electronic devices can do the talking. And we have a couple pieces from artists who aren't from here. One from a student who isn't here, he's graduated, but he's very special anyway. And so we've printed program notes for their pieces. For the composers that are here with us tonight, however, we left the program notes out so that each of us could tell you something about our piece in person. So the first piece on the program was an honorable mention in our first iteration of the Fresh Minds Festival. For some of you who saw that performance and got to engage with the guest artists that we brought here in September. And it's not in the program because I want to focus on the PerfTech minor this time. But if you go to freshminds.tamu.edu, you can see how you can participate in curating for the next year's concert festival. We'll be bringing another round of guest artists in. So without anything further to discuss, we'll go ahead and start our first piece.
There are ghosts. Yes, I see. They are all around, in front and behind you. They're nostalgic, and heartfelt memories are distorted as far as their minds can see. And pinprick their floated heart, the cavity where it used to be. Visions of the fleeting flesh, all metaphor, further from what was. I tremble and stay awake, knowing my first blood upon this soil is fodder for the next generation. They will feed as I
Brian Hernandez is also, I'm not sure if he's a native Texan, but he spent some time in Denton, Texas. For this next piece, we'll start to use our special piano called the Yamaha Disclavier. And it gives us opportunity to put us to create different unusual situations, places for the composer to be, for the performers to be, and for roles for the piano to have, thanks to the technology that it has within it. So the line on the program identifying this piece may seem a little bit confusing if you look at it. It's improvisation with Farron Martino, and then gives credit to me for playing computer and Professor Beasley Jones for playing saxophone. Farron Martino isn't human. I created a computer algorithm, computer software that's capable of playing piano reasonably well when left alone, and it seemed to have enough of a personality that I decided to give it a human-seeming name. And so Farron Martino is the name of this software that you can play piano. Well, I rarely leave it alone. It seems to do best when it's disturbed a little bit. And so while it can make musical decisions on its own, it also is taking in input through the webcam, the built-in camera in the laptop computer, and is using that to really just disturb its train of thought, disturb its flow a little bit. And while what's going on in there is fairly simple, the results end up being fairly complex. Maybe because of that, or I'm not sure which came first, but the software also has manifests a bit of its personality in that sometimes it likes to do the opposite of what I'm doing in front of the camera, or sometimes it likes to ignore and accompany what I'm doing, and so it has a playful nature. For this is the first time I've performed live with it. Normally I just leave it as an installation where passersby are the ones who disrupt its flow and help it generate new material. But this time we'll be playing with a saxophonist, and at certain times we'll be able to listen to what the saxophonist is playing and incorporate some of that material. I can introduce things at the keyboard. I try to do that minimally, but I can throw those things into its memory, and maybe it'll decide to pick up on those ideas or bring them back later, or maybe it'll decide to ignore them. Let that be my solo. So I'll have minimal controls over here, a lot of very subjective arm waving, which I don't fully understand, but it's pretty fun to do. So we'll go ahead and get started with this, and we'll invite Dr. Beaster Jones to join us up here. And so you can see what's going on, I'm going to connect my laptop to the projector. I don't expect you to be able to see all the code from where you're sitting. I'll need to keep it fairly small, but you'll at least be able to see that let's see, it's very Martino, and that it all fits on one screen. Code. So next we have a set of a few miniatures composed by our students. These are some of their earliest composition projects. And while they, many of them didn't consider themselves composers before beginning these projects, we put ourselves in the situation of a composer and the need to make music amidst all these tools so that we can better make sense of those tools and understand it from that perspective. So with that said, we'll begin our series of miniatures, and I'll ask each composer to say a little bit about his piece before he begins. And first is Warren Halliday.
Howdy. My name is Warren Halliday, and my piece is entitled A Haunting Nature. It features several voices in the foreground that are having kind of a conversation, and then there is another voice that is acting upon those voices, and that is what gives the piece its eerie feeling.
Howdy, my name is Edwin. My piece is called Rhythmic Traveling, and I'm currently in the Music 316 course. And with this piece, I try to get out of the structure, out of being in a box in my music that I create. I normally try to stay in this structure of probably staying in one key, and I like when things have form. I think this comes from a mathematical background. But in this course, in 316, we're able to try to use music with different sounds and try to create something that one might not think as music, but it takes a lot of time to try to find some random sounds and some good effects with it. So I hope you guys like it.
My piece is called No Artificial Coloring. It's kind of a contradiction. We went out and sampled some sounds naturally happening outside and inside this building, and but they're processed and edited in our software so heavily, so it makes you wonder if they're actually natural or artificial sounds.
Hi guys, my name is Dustin Garcia. This piece that I have emulates a battle between aliens and humans. And so we just took a whole bunch of sounds, everyday sounds that you would hear inside and outside of this building. And I modified a whole bunch of parameters in it so that I could make this simulation. Hope you guys enjoy.
Actually, Dustin, you consider me. I'm gonna do the next one. So the next composition and the last of our series of miniatures is by Will Hickle, who recently graduated from A&M, but went through Music 316 just like these guys. The last three of these pieces were represented at a regional conference of Louisiana and Texas university students doing this kind of a thing. And because it's electronic music and Louisiana and Texas, they decided to call the conference Electric Latex, which looks great on all the receipt expense reports. But this year, it's hosted at a different participating university each year. We hosted in 2009. We'll probably host again in a couple of years. This one was at Tulane University in New Orleans, and University of Texas, University of North Texas, Rice, and Loyola and Louisiana State University all participate. Sam Houston participates too. And and they're mostly grad students. These undergrads went and shared their pieces, and they stood up nicely in company of these other students. So these were doctoral dissertations. Anyhow, we're glad these guys were able to go and represent our university so well. Will Hickle had gone before them within 316 a couple of years ago, and I just got an email from him last week. This is why he's on the program. He informed me that he had sent off a musical miniature of his that he had made after graduating. Sent it off to an international call for works. This curating organization called Vox Novus runs a concert series called 60 by 60, where they call for 60-second compositions. They get 60 of them to go 1 hour, and they put them all together in one concert program and send that touring around the world. And they often enlist video artists and choreographers and dance companies to create extra layers to add to the music. And Will's email to me last week let me know that this piece he created, it just got picked for the most recent international mix. 60 by 60 international mix. And so it'll be included in several dozen performances this year and over the next few years, all over the world. Maybe have people choreograph and dance to it or create videos along with it. And it also has uses a different aesthetic approach than we've heard this evening. But I think if you listen closely, you'll see how it fits. The next piece has some notes in the program, but I want to add that this is not a graduate from here, and we haven't had him visit here, although I've seen him in Texas before. Mark Applebaum is a very clever composer, as you can see, and this piece called pre-composition refers to the process that happens as a composer is starting to plan. I think that'll be obvious within it. He's such a clever guy, he likes to create works that are self-referential in several ways. So it's a piece about creating another piece. And it's very useful to incorporate in some of our early electronic composition courses. But after we get past the content of the lyrics, I try to get our students to focus on the purely musical aspects within it. What the role each musical voice is playing, how they're responding to each other, what the other voices do that gives the next voice a reason to come in, and what's its relationship with them, how they work together to build textures, gestures that move the piece forward, or let us recall other parts in the form and move it forward. And so, with that said, I'll play pre-composition.
Is this on? Okay. So it's going to be a tape piece. It's going to be an 8-channel tape piece.
Ooh, how about like 8-channel tape with amplified string quartet and live electronics and
No.
interactive dancer
No.
and one of those cool
No,
laser
it's just going to be 8-channel tape.
with the laser?
No, just 8-channel tape.
But like maybe
No.
you know like the flute,
No.
like
No.
the flute and some sort of flanger
No flute.
in the video.
No flange. Look, it's hard enough to get an 8-channel tape piece performed. We're not going to be stupid this time. It's just going to be tape. Okay?
It could be mono.
Mono?
Do not like listen to him.
No.
One.
No, look, I've already decided it's 8-channel tape.
I'm just saying, you know, mono would be easy. Yeah, easy and like boring.
Look, it's 8-channel tape. Okay?
I think we could like, you know, move this along like
Yeah.
sometime today.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Now look, this is how the piece is going to start. It's going to begin with just one tone, like okay, like that, and then that one tone is going to split into like other tones, okay, like yeah, and then it like morphs into this like really nasal filtered thing, like yeah, no, but the other tones will like go higher and like lower and then like kind of pulse, you know,
Okay.
like yeah, that's it. Yeah, good.
Reference. How long will its duration be?
You mean like how many seconds will that happen?
No, like in samples.
Geez, I don't know.
If I may, if
I
we
suppose.
conceive of the mind in my body
great. Here comes
and
Mr. Spirit.
the body in my mind, and we bring them into
Body in my mind.
I believe that they will tell us the proper duration of the passage.
Oh no, that's brilliant. But how many samples?
Can we get back to
That's my question. Why is that
But
important?
is that really the question?
Can we get
Well,
back
how can you make a piece of music if you don't know how many samples it's going to be?
Oh, I'm sure like Mozart was really concerned Can we about get that. back to
Well, I'm sure if
looking at
Mozart
the-
were alive today, he would know how many samples his piece of music was. That's all I'm
both
saying.
right.
Mozart,
I'm sure you're both
you know,
right. I think that we should get back to working on the piece, remember? Okay. Yeah, let's get back to this, to where we were. Okay, so we got this, there's this like nasal pulsing thing. Does anyone remember that? And then suddenly there's going to be like this kind of wind sound, like. And then, I don't know, what do you think should happen next then?
It could get like distorted and staticky, like. Oh yeah, and then we could like send it around like to all the different speakers. It could like the sound could be like flying around like. How many speakers are there? There's 8 speakers.
And then let's bring back that tone thing. But then change the pitch to.
Pulse.
Yeah, pulse. Wait, but different pitches.
Can I just go back to the idea of the flanger that I brought up?
No.
No, I know you didn't like the flanger with the flute.
We're not doing it.
Maybe it doesn't have to be a flanger at all, but like, what if we had instead? I mean, just hear me out.
You don't
What
get
if
it.
we had
It's
instead
channel
like a
data.
small data that
Yeah.
would like fit a hamster.
A hamster?
Crazy. In that way, the hamster could control like
Hamster
filters
represents
like, you know, I'm just,
kind of bandwidth with the
just
hamster.
off the top of my head. That's just brainstorming, right?
Thanks.
Brainstorming actually is predicated on the presence of a brain.
I don't think this is particularly productive.
Brain.
I suggest that we, get back to the piece.
I think that's right, yeah. Thanks for the idea. Okay, so next maybe there could be like maybe we could have like this kind of whooshing sound.
A whooshing sound or like a swooshing sound?
I don't know. I think that it could be either.
Maybe no reason why we can't do both.
Grounded in
If it's a
nature. Whooshing sound, then it should probably have a metaphor of corporeality. Whereas if it's swooshing, it should have, or swooshing or swishing, then I would think it should have more of that, that Aquarian versus existential kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, that's great. All right, after all of this sort of whooshing and swishing, maybe we'll kind of like, kind of increase up to a climax, like we'll get louder and then there'll be kind of climax.
How loud will it be?
I don't know, it'll be, pretty loud.
Now, how many dB?
Is this gonna be like,
Like a Mozart decibel thing again?
Well, you must ask.
I can't work in these
Perfectly,
conditions. If everyone's gonna be acting like this, then I don't think I can contribute to this.
Well, it's not exactly like your contributions have been.
No, your contributions are very important.
See, this is just the kind of insulting
It's
comment.
very important that you feel comfortable and that you continue working on the project, okay? I want you to be here, okay?
All right.
What's going with that?
There's no flanger. There's no flanger. What's a parametric Lorentz?
What kind of badge
Tommy's making up with it.
Like,
This is not really helpful.
ice MIDI conversion.
Dry ice.
One that's sold.
That's very
Maybe
imaginative.
like kind of
But-
rotisserie action.
We really need to get back to
It's very, it's very creative. Okay, so anyway, I was describing this kind of
the
climax.
Yeah.
What I think it should do is it should kind of, it should go up to this point, and then it should climax in this kind of like ting sound, like.
Yeah, right. Because, we want to stay away from cliche.
Just because it's an overused gesture, I don't think that necessarily makes it cliche.
I mean, if we were to avoid all gesture to capitalize this,
Kind of ball rolling around.
there's gonna be no ball rolling
He's
around.
just trying to piss you off.
I'm not gonna argue with you about this, okay? Can we just get on to the next thing? Okay? After the ting.
Yes, what happens after the ting?
After the ting, there's gonna be like this highly contrapuntal polyphonic thing going on with independent motives, okay? Pick a motive and let's try this out, okay? Yeah, but maybe let's change it so that each individual line, or each, each channel has a number of different sounds.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, pretty good.
This is not. Wait, I've got it. Okay,
Go ahead.
then let's have some overlapping high descending tones that keep falling, and then some popping noises, and then like a short bit of that wind, and then more popping noises, but this time with some channels doing that nasal tone stuff that we did before.
Okay, good. Let's try it.
That's pretty good, yeah.
I think that
I
works.
like that. Can I ask what kind of sound source is going to be used to articulate all of these ideas? I mean, has anyone given me any thought to that?
We could use a DX7.
I mean, I just want to make it clear, I'm not doing physical modeling of a chicken. Okay?
Theremin.
I don't think you can make all of these sounds on a theremin.
What about like a really big theremin?
I
really want to know is how this piece is going to end.
Yeah,
Could we need an ending?
what about like a really understated kind of quiet thing where different quiet voices drop out one by one until there's only one left, and then it goes away.
It would have a kind of
Okay,
symmetry.
let's try it.
And in a sense, can the music ever really end?
Yeah, whatever music is. I think the end should be a really big climax.
Me too.
Let's try it. It might be a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, it's like
Jones.
Then how is it going to end?
Yeah, it has to end somehow.
I don't see why pieces have to end with some kind of conclusive punctuation.
True.
The most interesting and arresting ending might be to simply
So we've seen and heard a number of different approaches to making music, engaging deeply with the tools that otherwise just think they're here to help, but we start to realize how much they actually shape what we're doing, and we're the ones trying to take control of that situation so we can examine it and learn some more things about ourselves and about traditional forms of performance. So speaking of tradition and history, at least, this last piece was something that I created when I was asked to contribute something for an album with a theme of steampunk music, imagining the 19th century world of like what we may have seen in Back to the Future 3, trains, steam-powered things, but somehow lasers and aliens, things like that. The Wild Wild West movie, It was also a really good TV show where they were all still kind of gets that aesthetic. Those kinds of things, cowboys and alien kind of things. And so I took the approach of thinking about what is it more than a cowboy with a laser. And so I reflected on images. There's steam and brass to contain it, and there's leather and goggles, safety gear. There's a lot of power in it. It's dangerous. It's risky. And there's an awful lot of knobs and like big wheels you have to turn and cranks and things like that. And so everything seems complicated in a way. And so it all came down to being about the respective effort that things took to me. So I set about creating a piece that didn't try to live in that alternate universe, 19th century steampunk reality. But imagine in 2013, or I created in 2012, that had that steampunk past as its history, and that respect for effort, demonstrable effort in pieces coming out, as opposed to what we have now. I can do so much with just this, and actually electric latex. We saw a guy give a performance like this, and it's black box. There's no wires. You barely have to move at all to do anything. And the way we use technology it's kind of liberated us or disembodied us from causes from results, at least in obvious ways. So I wanted to see what it would be like to bring those things obvious again and to bring out build an aesthetic, or imagine a preserved aesthetic on the idea of effort. So it's another disclosure piece. I'll need to rearrange the furniture a little bit to begin. So finally, before I begin, I should mention that this approach to making music is what's called live coding. I have a half-built program here in this graphic programming environment we call Max. And so instead of pushing buttons that trigger sounds, the other kinds of things that we do to make music happen, I'll be creating or manipulating computer code as a primary interface. But as I mentioned before, it takes some effort, both mentally and physically. came for credit for a music class, be sure to meet Heather or Warren out front to make their special mark on your program. And tomorrow tomorrow afternoon, 12:30 to 3:30, we'll have a hands-on open house with this technology and more if you want to learn more about these things. Thursday and Friday, the recording studio across the hall will have a New Orleans-based band Hazy Ray here doing an open house recording session with us. And we also have to have it streaming on the internet as well if you're not able to show up in person. the URLs at the bottom of your program, and especially if you are a lower division student, still have time to pick a minor. Feel free to come ask some questions about it, see if it's for you, and sign up for Perf 202 in the spring. Thanks for coming.
Wow, it's just like a group we had over there, right? We had a group. Yeah, I've been there. Yes. You guys did it? Yeah, that's weird because I sent it to. Well, bad because man, my hand was like, I don't know what it was doing, switching or something. I don't know. You're trying to go. Yeah. I think that's what. Oh no, it was more like a switch. Because I was trying to emphasize the 2 fingers and like.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
If you need it, I'll give.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna record the whole party stuff on Thursday night because apparently there's a party at my house.
There's a party at your house?
There's a party at my house. Which I thought it wasn't going on anymore, but apparently still is. All I was planning to get the boom mic and then just record everything.
Record the party?
Yeah, just record the party. Just try to get the environment.
If it's in any way, it's horrific.
Well, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it works.
But, and I had a little trouble with the whole onslaught of teenage vampire crap on stick. I mean, at first I was so excited. I was like, or excuse me, Seafy. That's apparently the channel I'm decided to be called. It's no, I call it Seafy. Yeah. It's like what? How is that sci-fi? That Y does not make it sci-fi. It's a Y. That's not right. Anyway, yeah, Fringe. Oh my God, could not wait for Fringe.
I haven't watched Fringe. Just a second.
It's good. It's good. The older actor's performance, just watching Walter is amazing. So he's really.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, Game of Thrones.
Walking Dead. Very good. Very good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I want to watch something. I've taped it. I watch it. I don't follow. Although a friend of mine's daughter was on The Voice, and so but then I couldn't watch it the night it was on. And I'm hoping it's still available somehow on their website because you're gonna kill me if I didn't watch her.
Yeah,
Possibly vote later, I guess. I don't know. I've never watched. It's so funny because people think, oh, you're an actor, so you watched all the reality. So, I don't know. It's weird.
As an actor, why would you watch reality television?
No.
Reality television exists precisely to bypass the actor.
And the union.
Right. Yeah.
Fees, basically. Yeah. You don't have to pay people on reality television in accordance
or anyone to write or.
We're good. Oh, we can't actually strike that, can we?
Yeah.
Strike.
Yeah.
This is